Hey, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Bailey here with a gameplay with the ASM1 where I'm actually not running support streaks, with sadly I do commonly run support streaks. I don't think there's a problem with that, but everybody in the competitive community thinks that if you're running support, you are just a weak son of a gun, but I run support all the time, not doing it on this gameplay. But what we are talking about today, guys, is the Call of Duty Championship. That's this weekend. Now, I'm following it, on r/COD competitive on Reddit. So I'm a bit more involved in the competitive scene than I was a few years ago. So if you maybe don't follow, competitive, and your idea of competitive Call of Duty is just strictly optic and phase, well, you probably still have a pretty decent idea, because in the simplest form, those are really two of the main big hitting teams. And if you know those two teams, I think a lot of people are just fans of optic, because optic is the first team that they became aware of, because nade shot is so big. So if you get, a bit deeper into it and you start to watch more and more teams, I think you could find yourself, a different group of players maybe that you want to follow their YouTube channels. They have great personalities, and you could get around to watching and paying attention to other teams in the competitive scene. But really, it's mostly those two teams are the big hitters out there. So they obviously, and along with 30 other teams, are going to be in the Call of Duty Championship Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with the very, ultimate championship being on Sunday, where they'll pick someone to win, the $1 million tournament, which is, kind of a scam and advertisement, because they don't really give out $1 million. They give out like $400,000 to the winning team, and the other $600,000 is dispersed, through the second, third, fourth, and so on place teams. So it's not that the first place team actually gets $1 million, as far as I've understood it in the past, but it's not like I'm going to be there playing, so I really don't care how much money they're getting. Anyways, I think back to my first memories watching the Call of Duty Championship. Now, this is going to go back 2 years ago, so we're back on Black Ops 2. I've been playing Black Ops 2 a lot. I hadn't been paying attention to the competitive scene, because at the time my KD on Black Ops 2 was like 0.5. Now, my KD on AW is like 0.85. Now, it's a lot better, but that doesn't mean that I pay any more attention to the competitive scene, because that's still a terrible KD, and I don't think that you have to be a good player to pay attention to the competitive scene. So I'm watching on Black Ops 2, I watched my first ever competitive Call of Duty match, and it's Envy versus Impact. Now, actually, it's not really Impact, it's Farico Impact, but nonetheless, I'm going to call him Impact for the sake of the video. So, Envy versus Impact, it is the $1 million championship, which is, like I said, is really $400,000, because it's kind of an advertising scam. So, they're playing for $400,000 and the rings, and I happened to come back from, like, Taco John's or something, and I just happened to get onto the Xbox dashboard, and they were like, oh, the Call of Duty Championship was on. I was about to put my Black Ops 2 disc in, and I was like, wait a minute. There's people competitively playing this game. So I just clicked on that Xbox dashboard update and I started watching it. And when I started watching it, it was like round 6 of best of 7. And I think they were playing Hardpoint on Raid. Anyways, I got so in-depth into it, and I feel like it was because of the CODcasters. The CODcasters were so into it. It's kind of like anything. If you know somebody who is crazy into it, you can kind of feed off of their energy and get super into it yourself. So that was what was happening to me. So I'm watching Hardpoint on Raid, and I'm just getting super into it. Now, I don't know either of the teams, but I immediately started to go more towards Impact. I liked what Impact was doing. I liked the way they were playing. I liked the dual cap 40s that Parasite was running, because that was something that I played with. And when I could connect the way he played, the way I played, I liked that. And I was able to connect to Impact, and I got attached to Impact just after this one game. So eventually it does go to round 7, and it is the most intense search and destroy on Meltdown ever. Like, I remember it like it was yesterday, where Proofy ends up dying trying to plant the bomb for Envy in the final round of S&D. It was just the craziest play, how it went down to the final round of S&D on Meltdown Search and Destroy, and it was, it was so energetic. It was like, it's almost as though if you'd never watched an NFL football game before, and you watched this year's Super Bowl, and it was the first game you ever watched, and you watched, the Seahawks come up 1 yard short on scoring and take the lead over the Patriots, the intensity of that Super Bowl, it would make you want to keep watching football. It would make you want to watch football next season. And for me, the intensity of Envy versus Impact made me want to watch COD competitive. So the season was almost over. There were other things that went on after that, other tournaments, and I paid attention to them, tried to follow Impact, but obviously Impact split up. Impact's not even in the 32 team, competition this weekend because I believe they still have a team. The entire roster is different, which in my opinion is what's wrong with esports. Is people don't stay with a team long enough. It's not like there's no like Brett Favre of esports, I mean, I guess Nadeshot kind of is. He stayed with the team for a long time, but really no player is branded to the team. You don't get attached to an esports team because of the player that's on it. You get actually attached to the player, and I think that a lot of people follow a player. Like if Nadeshot would somehow end up on FaZe, which is the most ridiculous idea ever, people would start to watch FaZe who previously had watched Optic just because they want to see Nadeshot, and because Nadeshot is the personality that they connect to in the same way that I kind of connected to Parasite's playstyle. Now I did not connect to Parasite's personality. I mean, I've seen him on live streams and stuff. The guy's kind of an idiot, I'm not gonna lie, but it got me into trying to follow Parasite, follow Impact, and the teams that he played on afterwards, such as Prophecy. And I'll definitely be cheering for him this weekend, even though I'm not even quite sure what roster he's on today because I've kind of lost track of that. Ghost killed it for me. I quit watching esports on Ghost because everybody was either using an MTAR or everybody was using a Vector, and that was the problem, was everyone was using one of two guns. Now, I did watch MLG Columbus here on Advanced Warfare, and the problem with that was everybody was using a BAL. So hopefully we see a bit more diversity in the COD Championship, but I have some serious doubts. But I will be back next week with my opinions after the tournament, and letting you guys know how I thought of how it went, and I'll also be tweeting out the entire time as I watch, what I'm thinking. So I do strongly suggest you watch the COD AW tournament on Advanced Warfare this week, and particularly the championship on Sunday. Well, I'll see you guys all next time. It's been fun.